going on, guys? Welcome to episode 10 of the Trainwreck Comedy Podcast. I am Adam.
Mike Keegan.
Kenny Murdock.
All right, special guest Kenny Murdock in our studio/kitchen.
Always my favorite last name.
Murdock?
I love that last name.
Somebody tried to pay me money for it once.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Apparently they didn't succeed.
No way.
No, he's still Kenny Murdock.
It's my moniker for life.
Love it.
Definitely a badass name.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to talk about something that's near and dear to all of our hearts, other comedians. Because first off, we hate other comedians because they're our comics, because either they're better than us or they're worse than us.
Right,
Either way,
right.
we don't appreciate it.
Usually worse.
Yeah, all right.
Always worse.
Listen, this is your award-winning comic. Doesn't mean...
Gateway Comedy Award-winning comedian Mike Keegan.
All right, well, that's why I don't get a business card. But there are comics out there that we like, comics out there that we hate. So we're going to kind of throw it on to everybody here. Let's talk about comics that we like. Mike, who do you think?
Currently, my favorite comedian is Bill Burr. A lot of people say Louis C.K. and he is on top right now, but
Yeah, definitely.
but I love Bill Burr, and he's more relatable, a little more exciting to watch. I guess when I started liking him was when he had that meltdown in Philadelphia. You guys ever see that?
Oh, yeah, it's like
Heard
He
about
just, he just had, yeah, it was an O&A traveling virus show, and they booed Don Herrera, so he just went on and did 14 straight minutes just bashing the city of Philadelphia, just ad-libbing, and it was hilarious. He ended it by saying, you guys were here. Go fuck yourselves in your own asses. And that's how he ended his whole. And he's just exciting to watch. He's a genius. He keeps coming up with new stuff. I mean, Louis is a very hard worker. But right now, Bill Burr. But that's now. I guess starting off when I started listening to comedy, it was Andrew Dice Clay. It was always my favorite comic growing up. I guess when I was in 5th grade, my friend let me borrow his Andrew Dice Clay cassette tape,
Right.
and I used to go in my room and listen to it really low so my mother wouldn't hear it. That's kind of where I developed my sense of humor from. So it's some old comedians along that line. George Carlin was one of my favorites.
Always great.
And Richard Jeni and Bill Hicks. I love Bill Hicks too.
But who's your top guy echelon, dude?
Right now, anytime a Louis C.K. is on, of course. Anytime a Tracy Morgan's on, I love that dude. I can't get enough Tracy Morgan. It's just Louis just is toppling everything.
Yeah,
I see shows and I'm just like, hey.
Yeah, and his show is brilliant.
Oh yeah,
and
he,
yeah.
What's funny is a lot of people are like, when did you start doing stand-up? When did you get into stand-up? And my dad liked a lot of Red Fox, a lot of Jackie Mason, shit like that. He was an old school dude. He always had comedy vinyl records just spinning. It was awesome. But the first stand-up special I ever watched was Sinbad with my mom.
I remember that one.
And I remember doing the whole entire act, for my mom, paraphrasing or whatever. And God bless her, she just did not laugh once. She was just like, "This is Sinbad's act." I was 7 years old, bro. This is Sinbad's act, and I'm like, throw me. My mom wouldn't even throw me a pity laugh. You know what I'm saying? I bombed my first show with my mom. I haven't even invited my mom to shows because I'm still scarred by when I was 7.
And that really kind of just brings it right down.
Done. But yeah, Louis, and just as far as influential, I'm a real voice kind of story kind of guy. So Jim Carrey stand up always got me.
Yeah.
The Inuit impression he does and his ones and that one's always that'll always resonate with me.
Definitely some classics out there. I mean, I think my first I ever watched was Tim Allen.
Oh God, I remember that one.
And when you watch Home Improvement when you're 11 years old, you think, oh, this is a funny show.
Yeah.
Then you watch it stand up, and that is not the same dude.
Filthy. And that's why my father was like, oh, because I loved Home Improvement. My father's like, oh, Mike, let's watch this stand-up special when I was 10 years old.
Same thing happened to me.
Yeah.
My parents like, what the hell did we just put on? Robin Williams is another good example of that too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because you see, he's the genie in Aladdin. Oh, he's stand up. Let's see what happens here.
Fuck.
And that's exactly what you're getting.
Coke.
The classic is Bob Saget.
Even Bob Saget, too.
Danny Tanner. And then he talks about having sex with the Olsen twins on stage.
I heard that Jamie Kennedy song with Stu. I got the name of it escapes me, but Bob Saget was on it. And it's just all about Roll with Saget. It's Roll with Saget.
Yeah.
And it was and I was like, oh, that's cool. That's funny. Bob Saget stepping out of his element to do something funny. That's cool. And then I just watched that special, and I was just like, wow.
Oh no, he stepped out of his element to do Full House.
Yeah, exactly.
Another thing was, Drew Carey. I saw him, last month at Governors. Yeah. And you see him, he's a Price is Right guy now. But you saw his show, he was just going off the wall. It was great.
Yeah. I'm pissed off that I missed that.
Great show, really. It was a packed house, great show. But I think my favorite comic of all time, who's alive right now anyways, is Louis Black.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
I can't do political humor.
Yeah.
I think about trying to go that route, but when I watch him, just the way he does his set, his persona on stage, the way he just commands the audience is absolutely phenomenal. I've seen him twice.
Yeah, he was actually my first comedy show I ever went to.
Louis Black
at Gotham, like years and years ago.
My first one I think I went to was Jon Stewart. That was in Westbury.
Oh, really?
And there's Louis Black right after that too.
Yeah.
But no, Louis Black, I still watch anything he's done, and I love it.
Yeah, like when we were coming up with the comics we like, I didn't even think of Louis Black, and
He always gets skated over his head, but then you think of him,
he's
it's
one of my
wow.
favorite comics. Like I was a history political science major in college, and like I was thinking, you know, when I want to be a comedian, I want to be political, like Louis Black and shit. I can't do shit like that. I'm not that smart.
No,
But I love Louis Black. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Right, and I feel whenever I do this on stage with my finger, then I think it's Louis Black.
No, I just...
I can't do that though. I wish I could. But I mean, if you're gonna go with deceased comics, I miss Mitch Hedberg.
Oh God, I wish Dimitri Martin would start doing heroin so we could get Mitch Hedberg back.
I was watching Mitch Hedberg special recently. Just a 7-minute set like we all do.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I wish I could do 7 minutes of that.
Yeah, just those quick, witty one, like the turtle in the backpack.
Like, yeah, like,
I wrote a turtleneck in a backpack.
You know
feels
how
like
hard it is to do an hour special with one-liners?
Yeah,
It's
oh
just-
my God.
You can
and
do
it's
it though.
just-
He was
and
able to
he
do
had
it.
He had a very severe fear of audiences.
Yeah.
And you'd see he's always looking down.
I remember a lot of his earlier performances. He was like really like animated and all like put to the point, and then like I guess the drugs just got a hold of him, and then you know, I mean drugs, but like that created a fucking awesome character, man. That guy was cool.
It was a great character. I don't know. I mean, I miss Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah, so much.
You know, I guess the other guy I throw in there who I like right now is Tosh. I prefer Tosh stand up more than his show. I mean, I like the show more than I got into the stand up. You don't like Tosh? You don't like him?
I liked his last stand-up.
I like his style. His style is good.
It's modern. It's gonna get that young crowd. It's like, but his writers are hilarious. Like you said, I could watch the show, but I just don't know. I watched his stand up and I was like, all right, this guy's alright. And then that whole rape thing that happened, I was like a real shock kind of comedian. I used to talk about all that blue shit, and then just one day I guess it just turned over, and I heard about that story, and I was just like, that's not funny. Like, a 5-second pause and just imagine she got raped. Like that's just not a joke to me. It's just like, but I can see why I've definitely laughed at humor.
Like he's one of those comics. Like I love his last special, and he gets you when you see him starting out in his career, but then later on it's just like he's doing a bad impression of Daniel Tosh. You know?
Yeah.
It's just,
right. So I guess you can go maybe like some you don't like right now. I guess it could be Tosh, but I don't know who else do you like not like. Who can you not watch? Don't want to see
consistently, and I figured it would be probably all three of us would say Dane Cook.
Yeah. We had this conversation before.
Yeah. Anytime I ever speak to anybody about their least favorite comics, it's Dane Cook.
Do you like regular people or comics?
Even regular people and
Really?
comics. I was in a room full of comics, and I'd say 8 out of 10 people said Dane Cook were their least favorite. You know,
comics I could see definitely, but people
even
just
regular
love
people.
that motherfucker.
You know, people love him, and a lot of people love him, and I know people that love him, and I'm not gonna talk about my 12-year-old niece. You know, but I mean, I'll admit his first Comedy Central special I loved. I'm like, this guy's gonna be great.
I was also 16.
Exactly.
So it was like...
I was 16, and I'm like, oh my god, he's talking about alcohol.
I'd use the lines too, the catfish steam broth and the Coors Light. I still use that line. That was great. So much.
Yeah. And it's just, I guess, because he's so animated, and people like don't listen because he has no substance in his comedy.
Yeah.
So it's just a lot of animation that he relies on. It's like little kids when they're like, "Oh, pretty colors on the TV. I like this show."
Right,
like that's just how people that are ignorant to good comedy.
You really can't relate to what he's telling you. So, and an audience is kind of hard to, especially if we're cynics. Because at this point, we're so desensitized. So many comics, we've done so many shows. It's hard to really make us laugh like that, like we did maybe when we were 10 years younger.
Yeah, exactly.
And the stealing of the material.
And the stealing of the material is a big thing.
That's huge to me.
And,
like, that makes me disrespect somebody.
And he even admitted it. I think it was that. Do you ever see that Jamie Kennedy thing?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Heckler.
Yep.
Not Dane Tyler. What's his name? Dane Cook.
Yeah.
He goes. People say I steal material. You're fucking right. I did, and I made a lot of money doing it.
I hate it.
I can't really put the guy down too much. He's a multi-millionaire. I've made $110 doing comedy in the last year. You know, it's just like yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I think I was there for both of those shows. No, that.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
So who would you not want to really watch?
Jeselnik doesn't do it for me.
Everybody
loves
He's
it.
one of those comics that I think is starting to get into doing bad Anthony Jeselnik impressions.
I respect it, and there's a couple. Of course, some of his roasts, I'm just like, but then I watch, and his girlfriend too, Amy
Schumer.
Just can't do it.
You don't like
her?
her?
I want female comedians. I listen to female comedians because I love that,
Right.
But I mean, she just doesn't do it for me, and everybody's always like, you gotta listen to these people. You would love them, and I'm like, I've listened to them.
Yeah.
I do.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence with Jeselnik. I mean, he's
I-
the only person that really offended me with the joke of all time. And actually, this was like a couple years ago. I read a tweet that he wrote out, and if I guys got into it, because they were looking at me like, okay. it was after the old the Kaylee Anthony trial thing was going on, and I have kids, so I'm very sensitive to that as it is. But then saying something along the lines of, I wonder what Kaylee Anthony and John Ramsey talk about. I'm like, oh man.
See,
he had one joke, and it's very offensive, and I laughed. And he goes, because supposedly Casey Anthony's pregnant again. He's like, oh, that kid's favorite store is gonna be Never 21.
Oh god. The John Benet Ramsey thing. When I first started, I had a John Benet Ramsey joke, and it was the first time I ever did comedy. I told it, and people were just like, "Don't tell that."
My first joke I ever told on stage was when Miley Cyrus got engaged, and I said Miley Cyrus got engaged. Now she's gonna have to stop fucking that guy that sang "Achy Breaky Heart."
Incest. People hate incest.
The first time I ever got feedback from a booker, he's like, "Don't fucking do that joke."
You can find a crowd that would.
I still love that joke.
That's
I'll
a funny
tweet
joke.
it again every now and then.
Revolution, next show, you're doing that joke.
I'm doing open with that.
Open with that. Or I'll open myself with that, I don't care.
And, but I just saw a video yesterday if you want to check it out. It's Jeselnik doing impression of Dane Cook.
I heard about that.
It's so funny.
I haven't
put
seen
it up
it
on my
yet.
page when you get home if you want to look it up on the page.
Double fuck me.
It's Jeselnik does one of his jokes and then does an impression of Dane Cook doing that joke. And it's pretty genius. And I'm another one that's on the fence about Jeselnik, and I know in a year I'm gonna hate him. I still kind of like him, but that joke is funny because he just tells this dark joke about his nephew's fish dying. And it just leads into blah, 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 and then I told him there is no God. It's like the classic dark Jeselnik.
Yeah.
Then he goes into Dane Cook, and he's like, this is how Dane Cook would tell him. He's just running around stage, and then his fish died, and his fucking gills were and it's fucking just running around stage, and then he's like, and there is a God. It's funny if you want to check it
I
out.
don't have to watch it anymore now, thanks.
No problem. It's me doing Dane with the family.
Yeah.
Me doing Jeselnik doing Dane Cook. It's gonna be viral.
Apparently, because some of you watch the show, good Above X Zone and all those guys.
Above X Zone, I hope he's watching. Hey, Bub.
Hey, man. So, comics we don't like, speaking of.
Yeah, how about yourself?
You know what? I guess it's just because I've never sat down and actually watched it a full way through. Cat Williams.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, just because people write so many Cat Williams memes that annoy me.
Oh, yeah. They're not even
People
jokes,
say the things they said, which annoy me. And I think just because people saying them, the way they say them, people are doing it, I can't get into it.
Yeah.
Because of other people, I don't want to ever watch Cat Williams.
Yeah, the things with that, Cat Williams, when his special first aired, I loved it, and then he just tries to ride it and drive shit into the ground. Like, pimp. Fucking enough. It was funny the first one. It can't be every one of your specials. Like Gabriel Iglesias, I hate him.
Yeah. Comics with a catchphrase is not a good thing.
Saying you were fluffy, that was hilarious in one special, but don't call every one of your specials Mr. Fluffy goes to Hollywood or whatever the fuck.
Right.
You know, it was good in one of your specials. Drop it and be a real comedian and write new stuff.
Exactly, because you're just recycling the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Which no one wants to hear after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was really smart of him to release his last special the same weekend that Louis C.K. released his special.
Good call.
Fucking asshole.
Good call.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch it eventually.
Yeah.
It's on my DVR. It's sitting over there on the TV. I'm going to watch Louis, yeah. I got to watch
the last bit is genius.
Yeah,
I'll watch it.
It's worth it. I mean, the whole special, I was kind of like, all right, you know, obviously, what's he really going to do? And I was going to top the last one, but the payoff is just
genius.
Beautiful. Now I know something to look forward to.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to touch on also current events like we usually do here, if you ever watch the podcast.
We all survived the Boston Marathon, huh?
We did.
Yeah, good for us.
We made it.
We all survived.
Thank God, because we weren't in Boston, so we were all right.
Yeah, we all survived.
Can you be Boston strong if you're not in Boston? That's a Boston thing.
Yeah.
I think so.
No. So, I mean, obviously what happened there was horrible. Nobody wants to see that happen again, especially after living through 9/11, which we all did here in New York. But I mean, I guess the jackass trying to escape on a boat on land
That's gonna
really wasn't going to work out too well.
It's like,
He kind of was coming to
Are
him.
you Chechnyan or Polish?
I just don't understand that logic. That was just, there was so many other things he could have did.
Yeah,
I was listening to the police scanner when that was going down.
Complete to death.
And they were confused.
Yeah.
Like, everybody, because they were getting calls from every 2 minutes from people. I just saw this guy with a white cap and a minivan. I just saw this guy. It's probably stolen plates. And they're checking every 2 minutes. She's just like, all right, we pulled it. It's not the suspect. It's not the suspect.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, nah, he's been in a boat the whole time.
He's just bleeding to death in a
Chilling in his
boat.
backyard right now. He's having a great
So
time.
it's either a genius thing, but
Imagine we got away with that.
I know.
Imagine we
I
got
know,
away with a
right?
huge
he
manhunt.
hid
and
the
he
boat
just,
for 5 days, and then
he
he's
just
just like,
popped his head out. And he was just like the groundhog, and he was like, all right,
Coast is clear. It's nighttime.
80 more years alive.
I don't think I was still wearing the same freaking white hat. I mean, all over the news. I think we'll ditch that.
yeah.
I'll get an orange hat. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
No, same fucking white hat. Great
You know what I
idea.
feel bad for is whoever won the Boston Marathon.
Yeah, that's
It's
not
like a
something
huge
celebrate.
accomplishment, and then it's just taken away from you. Like I think we all basically won the Boston Marathon, though.
At
There
that
were
point,
only 3 people that didn't win the Boston Marathon.
No, they were the bigger losers. They were the biggest losers of that.
Thanks, Keegan. Thanks for
No, yeah, that was it
Somebody
too
did
soon.
that.
That's why I hate like people that put like a moral clock on whether something's too soon. Like I put like an innocent little quip as soon as it happened. I'm like, oh, just when I was gonna start running marathons, then I get flooded with too soon.
Too soon.
I mean, that kid that goes around calling himself a comedian, Jordan Kanchowitz, a douchebag, blocked me on Facebook because of it.
He's made me laugh. Maybe not with him, but he's made me laugh. That's funny. I wonder what 9/11 would have been like if there were memes back then. Because people were all over
Oh
memes
my
real
God.
quick. Like that shit just happened.
That's a good.
And they had that one meme that was like took 3,000 something days to find Osama. Took 4 days to find the Boston bombers. Don't fuck with Boston. It's like, no, dude, what are you retarded? He was in fucking another. This guy hopped in a boat in someone's backyard.
Death in a boat.
He was in the same freaking city.
Exactly. He didn't even try to leave.
This time was in a different, at least time zone. At least he gave it a fucking college try.
Exactly.
There was
He was good for 10 years.
We had to work out the paperwork on killing Osama to make it look like we were,
There was one horrible meme that I saw. Remember that guy that got both his legs blown off? It was him, and there was a picture of a tortoise, and it just said "slow and steady wins the race."
Ooh.
And I
It's
cringed
vicious.
at that.
Man,
And
it's
it's
just
just like,
vicious.
but that's another thing. Like, who's to say it's too soon, or just like. You can't put a moral clock on it. Is it anybody to be less dead if I say it 2 weeks from now?
That's a good point.
And anybody thinks that it's insensitive. Like anyone thinks that I don't think it's a disgusting, evil act of cowardice is a retard. And you're just sitting in a fucking imaginary little ignorant box. Like it's horrible, but sometimes you gotta add a little levity to the situation.
Exactly.
That's why we're comedians. That's why we're here to save the world.
This is the most freaking political, in-depth podcast of all time. Let's talk about Reese Witherspoon now.
Oh yeah.
Because we're gonna.
Nice segue.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Super. People died. Reese Witherspoon.
Let's talk about her. So I didn't hear the story. You guys talk about the story. What's going on with her?
She apparently was just belligerent drunk with her new. Was she the one that was dating Jake Gyllenhaal? Is she
Yes,
common that much? I swear she was just with that dude, or just at least now she's married for a
She's
year.
married
as a
to this
kid.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah, just got really drunk and just started pulling the "Do you know who I
Do you
am?"
know who I am?
card.
He's just saying he was driving drunk, the husband, and they were like in an argument in the car or whatever. And then she gets out. You're gonna make national news. You're gonna find out who I
I'm gonna
am.
make you famous. Like, bitch, what was the last good movie Reese Witherspoon did?
I know.
What was the only good movie Reese Witherspoon? He kissed a girl in Cool Intentions, right?
Yeah.
That was a bit.
All right.
I went to Harvard with a puppy. Whatever the fuck.
Oh,
Legally
you legally
Blonde.
blonde. Oh my God, Jen Coolidge could get it though.
Yeah. Reese Witherspoon can still get it, but don't go around saying who you are because you were in Legally Blonde.
And Legal Blonde too. Don't forget.
Oh yeah.
There
All
was
right,
a second.
maybe she is
Red,
something.
white, and blonde.
Yeah.
Why do I know that? I'm sorry.
Because you're a movie buff.
Okay.
You're
go with that.
You're researching, bro.
I like that one.
Researching.
I don't know. I don't think I saw her was Walk the Line. That was a great movie. So.
Walk the Line.
Okay, yeah, I don't know how. There's like 400 people better for that part. But
Yeah,
probably.
She definitely killed it. She definitely killed it.
Yeah, I work with what's his name?
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, so you gotta I guess it's hardworking enough as it is what we're doing with that guy.
He's
Yeah,
happy
no,
again?
he's-
That was a gimmick, wasn't it?
That was a whole
rap
gimmick.
was-
He had
that's
a
great
documentary
gimmick.
about it. I'm
That's a
still
great
here.
gimmick.
It was pretty good if you watch it.
Man, I definitely gotta watch that.
Yeah, that whole Letterman interview that he did was genius.
Oh yeah, that's stuff like that like
Yeah.
it makes me like, really, Joaquin Phoenix is that good?
Exactly.
I thought River kind of held that down. I thought Joaquin was gonna be the Rob Shapiro of like Rick Shapiro then Rob Shapiro. River Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix.
And Joaquin.
Yeah.
His name is not as retarded, so
Yeah.
I guess he's alright in the world nowadays.
What the fuck? If you name your kid River, you're basically setting him up
I know,
to do drugs and just be weird and
I
just
know.
die.
I went to school with two kids, brother and sister, named Sundance and Wilderness.
Oh my God.
Dude, that's what
I'm pretty sure they've both been beaten to death already.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Wait,
Were they
Sundance
boys and girls or boys?
Sundance, I think. Alright, well, I'll guess. The boy, and I think Wilderness was the girl.
You name your son Sundance, like Sundance Murphy. You don't remember the last name?
No, I don't remember the last name for the life of me, but I'm
You
sure it's
name
something
your
ridiculous
son
too.
Sundance.
There's no coolest name you can have unless it's Murdock.
Yeah.
As your first name.
Sundance Murdock. That's a great
That's actually not that bad.
Sundance Murdock.
That is not that
They're
bad.
getting
Can you
what?
change your stage name to
Sundance Murdock?
Or Wilderness? Wilderness Murdock.
Sundance Wilderness Murdock.
Next show I'm hosting that you're on, you better know that's what you're coming out to.
Sundance Murdock?
Yeah.
I'll do it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Why
That's
not?
how we roll
That's
here.
your real last name, huh?
Murdock, yeah.
That's awesome.
I never knew it was cool. I was just like, I'm Kenny Murdock. And there were people like, Murdock, the A-Team?
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, what the fuck's the A-Team? I'm 9.
Like from the Gorillas?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
He's playing cartoon player.
Because I rap a little bit too.
Yeah,
so everybody be
yeah.
like, your rap name should be Murdock. And I'm like, I'd
There's-
love for it to
there
be
is one,
Murdock,
yeah.
but there already is one.
There is a cartoon character who might sue me for that name.
Who's better at
I
it
can
than
just
it, so
make
we
it
kinda
Wilderness-
fucked up.
Wilderness Murdock.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Famous
That
rap
shit's gonna
artist.
happen.
Yeah.
That shit's gonna happen. Wilderness Murdock. I like that.
I hope they don't sue
Check
us
out
now.
his rap too. That video that you posted, I watched it like 2 weeks ago maybe.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, actually, why I kind of like laid the rap over it.
Yeah.
It's called Kenneth Lamar. You can find it on YouTube. I really don't like rapping.
Yeah,
It's
I
really just a
liked
hobby,
it.
but people like it, so
It's
check
really
it out. Cool.
Not Kendrick, Kenneth.
Kenneth, yeah, because I thought that was cool. Like that Kendrick Lamar did the song that I rapped over. It was a
Okay.
Kendrick Lamar beat, so it was just
Oh,
like Kenneth
nice.
Lamar.
Ah.
And
Yeah, that
it's
was cool.
People like it's funny because like I want to be really down with my raps. Like I want to be all like fucking sad with them, and then like I get like 8 views on them. But I put a song about these cars and slapping bitches in the face, and it gets 50 views the
everyone
first
loves
day.
slapping bitches in the
Oh
face.
my god,
That's
I
kind of
would
how we roll over here.
slap my face. Really.
That's how we roll the Trainwreck Comedy Podcast.
Yeah, we just slap bitches in the
Slapping
face.
bitches.
Slapping bitches in cars.
Next person who wants to get slapped in the face. No
Word.
mercy.
With that being said, thank you for watching episode 10 of the Correct Comedy Podcast. Let's talk about Kenny. So, when are you going to be on stage next?
May 25th, The Stand is right now the next tentative date.
Stand is the best.
I love The Stand. It's so intimate and close. And it's just so nice. That's as far as, but I'm sure there'll be things before that if you want to get at me on Facebook. Kenny Murdock Comedy, and my personal one. I don't even know 5,000 people, so I'm really not worried about likes right now. But at Real Ken Murdock on Twitter. Twitter's the new shit. Twitter, if you're going to do anything, Twitter. Tweet me. Tweet.
I suck at Twitter.
Yeah?
Just on Twitter. My goal is to have more followers than you, because I actually use it. And I think we're still tied. I think we're still tied, though. Like 103 or something.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I got 80 and all my friends always like
I was
that.
shocked that I broke 100 because I don't
Yeah.
use it.
My friend's got like 120 and he's just like, bro, I have 120.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you got like fucking the guys that get followers here. Like you got 13
Yeah,
of that
exactly.
motherfucker. I'm looking. Don't you worry.
Made his own fucking fake accounts.
Yeah. It's just the egg is the picture.
John Smith 84, John Smith 85.
The Smith family is a fan of me.
Oh, when you're on stage next?
Tomorrow I'll be at the comic strip. Wednesday I'll be at Governor's. The 29th is your show
Yes.
at Revolution. May 6th I'll be opening for Janine Garofalo at the stand.
That's
so that should
fucking
be fun.
Wow, there we go.
That should be fun.
How did you fall into that?
I emailed the guy and said, "Can I have a spot on the show?"
Is it open up for Janine Garofalo?
Yeah.
No pressure or anything.
Yeah. I'm like, "Can I have a spot on that show? It sounds like fun." And he said, "Yes." It's all right. So I got it.
That
So
works.
It should be pretty cool.
That works. And I'm going to be doing a bunch of stuff at county shows, unfortunately, over the next few weeks. So,
Yeah, nice.
but I'll be all over the place, I guess. If your yard has no sidewalk, that's how Suffolk County rolls. All right, and of course, you got you on Twitter. I'm Adam_DAP.
I'm Mike Keegan Comic.
Yeah, award-winning.
Award-winning. I should change my
Please.
award-winning comic.
Yeah, make your Twitter picture a fucking trophy.
That trophy.
I have it on my mantle, like in my parents'.
I'm surprised it's a broken bit right now.
When's that picture of you on the bearskin rug with the tiger trophy crotch? When's that coming out?
Tonight, now that you
Yeah,
mention it,
or
I
send
think
me
you
a
get
wallet
that
size
idea.
of that.
Nice. That is the worst thing I've ever thought in my entire life.
Oh, come on.
There's worse things. Adam.
Yes.
People died last week.
People die every fucking day. About 850 people died in an episode of Train.com podcast. Hopefully you are not
Five
one
of them
them.
because they watched it.
And the views go way higher because of that.
Yeah.
Just
All right.
roll out the rest
Thank
of
you
the videos
guys,
here.
though.
Thank you
Thanks-
for watching.
Thanks, Kenny's the man.
Thanks so
for
much for
having
getting.
me.
All right, peace.
Later.